Will, what's going on? Hello.
What's up, man? How you
How are
doing?
you?
Good, good.
Where are you now?
In Las Vegas at my home, so just
Hmm.
relaxing for now.
Great, great. How's the situation there?
It's not as bad as everywhere else. Stuff is still open, but no sitting down in restaurants. Probably the same thing a lot of places, but people are still moving around. A lot of things are still closed though, so it's a process.
Is it different than what it was in Moscow?
Well, I'm not sure. Before we left Moscow, it was okay. So I wasn't there when it kind of got bad and they shut
Hmm.
everything down. So I'm not really sure.
Hmm. Yeah, same here. I'm currently in Greece. Everything is on lockdown, shut down. Hopefully, next week things get a little bit looser and everything goes well. How do you think? What's your daily schedule looking like right now?
Uh, Monday through Friday, usually I'm working out. Uh, I'm still doing basketball workouts and, like I said, still lifting weights. So it's like nothing's changed for me since I've been in Moscow. Still the same thing. So workout and back home usually. That's usually my daily schedule.
Hmm. Obviously, back in October, you suffered an ACL injury, the most severe injury you've had so far in your career. Can you take me back to that game against Alba Berlin in October? How were you feeling during that time when that happened?
I was feeling normal. I think it was just one of those accidents that just you can't control. Um, to be honest, when I think back to it, I had a rough start to that game. I wasn't playing my best, so me pushing the ball in that fast break, I feel like I was trying to force myself into the rhythm, and it happened. So nothing I could really control. It was non-contact, so
Yeah.
something like that was just a freak accident. Yeah.
Hmm. And then a few days later, you underwent surgery. Can you describe what were you feeling during that time, and the following days after your surgery?
The first day I was pretty shaken up about it. Uh, like I said, when I got home and actually no one actually knew what the what like I said what happened, if my ACL was tore, if it was something else. So I still had a little hope going into the doctor the next day. And like I said, when he told me, it was just okay, that's it. I held it together pretty much.
Hmm.
When I got home, that's when it kind of hit me. When I got back to my apartment, that's when it kind of hit me that I tore my ACL, and yeah, it crushed me for sure. Uh, like I said, an injury like that, beginning of the season, like I said, you want to play basketball, so something like that happening, it took a big toll on me for sure.
And especially after how you finished off last season, you were crowned EuroLeague champion. You won the Final Four MVP. It must have been, yeah, it must have been bad luck, I guess. So now, obviously, you're in the process of rehab. How's that going, and how did that challenge you physically and mentally?
Uh, I had my ups and downs with that whole process. Some days were good days, some days were bad days. Uh, if anyone knows about the ACL surgery, like I said, the rehab process, you're doing the same thing over and over and over, like every day for the first 2 months.
Hmm.
So it kind of gets tiring, and you kind of lose that motivation to keep going. But that was probably it, man. That whole first 2 months, first 2 to 3 months of just not being able to just run and do everything is tough. But after a while, like I said, once you start getting your feel back, once you start learning how to do stuff again, getting the confidence back, then it kind of picks up. So that fourth, fifth month, I'm on my fifth month now. The
Hmm.
fourth and fifth months has been great because I've been able to do stuff. I've been able to be active and, like I said, act like a basketball player. So, like I said, it wasn't an easy process for sure. Ups and downs. And like I said, you have mood. I definitely had mood swings on when days didn't go well or workouts didn't go well for me. I get down on myself, but it was just a process.
Yeah. What does the process of rehab consist of now that you're currently in your fifth month?
Now I'm basically doing everything. Obviously I can't go contact and, like I said,
Yeah.
play 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, but doing everything where I can control myself is acceptable. So, like I said, basketball workouts, lifting weights, running, those things are stuff that I'm capable of doing now.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure, like I said, moving farther and farther along, that I'll be able to start doing other things. But as of
Yeah.
now, I have all the time in the world to, like I said, get back healthy. So it's no rush for me, and just taking it day by day.
Hmm. Obviously, given how last season ended, we knew that for this season, Coach Itoudis was counting on you to not only be, an important player of the team, but also be the main playmaker of the team. In other words, the roster would be built around you for this season. How much do you think your injury affected the team, given the fact that it happened, in October?
To be honest, I got to give the team a lot of credit, man, because like I said, after losing me, uh, they had one rough game against Olympiacos the next game, and as you see, they held it together. All those guys came together and, like I said, held it down the whole season. Especially Mike. Mike did a lot of carrying of the team. Obviously, everybody knows what type of player he is, so he done a great job. Like I said, carrying his team on his back and keeping them together. And like I said, also a lot of other players. But like I said, you gotta respect what Mike did. Like I said, due to me going down.
Yep. What about Coach Itoudis? Can you describe your relationship with him? Did he give you any kind of advice?
After the injury, before the injury.
And before and after.
You know what, man? He's always been pretty positive with me. He knew it wasn't easy for me, like I said, going down, and obviously he knew that with all the departures that we had and the season I had before, that this was kind of going to be, I guess you can say, my team, and I
Yeah.
had the opportunity to like try to show everybody what type of player I was once again, and he was kind of sad for me in that way that, like I said, I couldn't do that. I couldn't try to win a championship again. So it was one of those things where he was sad, but at the same time, he was very supportive. He knew that I wanted to be out there. He encouraged me. You know, that's the type of guy he is. He's just a good guy, man. He wants to win. So obviously, me going down wasn't easy for him either. But yeah, that's life.
Hmm. You talked about Mike James carrying the load offensively during your absence. But a few months later, after your injury, it was announced that you would miss the whole season. CSKA managed to sign Sandros as a replacement. What do you
Yes.
think of his playing style, and would you like to play alongside him next season?
You know, I like him a lot, man. Like I said, if you look at the scoreboard, you're not gonna be like, okay, he did this, he did this. But if you watching the game, all the little things, the deflection, the defensive intensity, like I said, him making plays, and he can play a bunch of different positions. I want to say the thing about him this year was, like I said, he came into a new team, and obviously you come into the
Yeah.
team in the middle of the year, you're not comfortable. And I think that was his whole thing this year, just being comfortable. And I think as the season went along a little bit further, he's getting more and more comfortable. But like I say, if he continues with us, I feel like the sky's the limit for him, and he's going to continue to get better, and his confidence is going to be there. And like I said, as you're with the team, you're going to feel like you're a part of the team. You're going to fit in. So I think he's going to play much better.
Hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the EuroLeague season, because obviously currently everybody is waiting patiently for EuroLeague's decision on what will happen this year. What's your gut feeling on what will happen?
It's probably the same thing everyone else is saying. It's going to be hard to start the season up. It's too many different countries involved.
Hmm.
Everybody has different situations. Some situations might be better, some situations might be worse. And to put a date on a season and say that everybody's situation is going to be corrected at that date of time is not logical. So, in my opinion, I don't think the season's going to continue because there's just too many things going on, too many moving pieces. So I think the best thing for us to do, in my opinion, is to get ready for next year and prepare for the next season instead of rushing to start something that all the players won't be protected, the coaches, the staff, something that you
Yep.
can't predict. You can't predict it at all. So I think it'd be smart if we just focus on next season and trying to build a strong start for next year.
Yeah, and started on time, obviously.
Yeah.
But if EuroLeague does return, the most likely scenario for that to happen is to have the games, the regular season games, completed in one single venue, and then to have like a plus a final late tournament. How would you feel about that and your team's chances to go all the way this year?
If they found a way to make it with, like I said, the safety guidelines and everyone is on the same page and this thing was, like I said, under control,
yeah,
then sure. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be open for it, but only if the situation is controlled. If not, then I don't think you're going to have everybody on board. It can't just be about, like I said, basketball. You got to think about life in general. Like I said, a lot of people are losing their lives to this thing. So you can't just think about the basketball situation. But if it did go down, like I said, one game elimination, I like our chances. We got a lot of good guys on our team. You can't count us out. So I think, obviously, I'm going to say we have a very good chance.
Let's talk a little bit about your career. And, after coming off an excellent regular season last year, you ended up winning the EuroLeague title and being awarded the Final Four MVP award. Take me back to last year and your feelings during that weekend in Vitoria.
I just didn't want to have a repeat of the season before, obviously. I think me and the team in general, we were just hungry. We didn't want to have a season like we did before. Like I said, we had played great all year long, and then we got to the Final Four and didn't play as well. So I think everybody was just on the same page. And when you have something like that, when everybody's got the same hunger on the same page, you tend to get things done. And like I said, we wanted it. And plain and simple, everybody wanted to win. Like, it was no leaving anything in the tank. We wanted to give our all, and that was kind of the whole weekend.
Was there any special or unique or different story you can share with us from that weekend, like before the final or after the final?
I can't even remember, or nothing I want to talk about. You know what, man? To be honest, the whole thing was special. You can't, it's like I said, you can't even describe the feeling that we had that, like I said, that weekend. Obviously, it was during that weekend, it was my birthday. My wife and kids had a small apartment in the other part of town. I came over there to surprise me with a birthday cake, balloons, and everything. So that was probably one of the special moments of it because I wasn't expecting that in Victoria for her to have a birthday cake and everything. But like I said, man, just that feeling of winning that championship after all those games, after all the ups and downs of the season, you can't beat that. There's no better feeling at all.
Individually, how satisfied were you with your performances last year in the EuroLeague and the VTP League?
I think I was pretty satisfied with it. Obviously, you can always play better. It was a great year for me. It was probably the best year, like I said, of my career so far. And to be honest, I always carry that attitude. I have nothing to lose. And like I said, I'm just going out there and just playing. I'm playing the game I love, and things just fall in place, I guess, if you want to say that way. I worked hard for it, but at the same time, I was just playing the game that I love, and things just fell in place for me.
Was it a no-brainer to sign that 3-year extension with Jessica last summer?
Not even a thought. It wasn't even a second thought about it. I knew where I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be with them. My first 2 years here were great. Had no complaints at all. This is a winning organization, and if you're here, they take care of you. It's like a real family. Cheska is like a family when you come here, and I'm pretty sure you can ask any Cheska player, and they'd say the same thing. So being here was the best thing I could have did for my career.
Did you consider at all any other offers, or was it
Not even a little bit. Not
Not
even
really.
once. Not even a thought of going anywhere else. This is where I wanted to be at.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take you back all the way to your college days, because for those who don't know, you attended and played in three different colleges from 2008
Yeah.
to 2013. Why was that? Was it because of basketball and trying to establish yourself in a bigger university?
So my first university, I went to a junior college, and I
Yeah.
had no Division I offers or Division II offers. So junior college was the only route that I can go to, and like I said, those 2 years taught me a lot and helped my game grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where I don't think I would have been to this stage if I didn't take that step there. And that's, like I said, probably one of the important parts of my life because I met some great people, had a great coach, and also I was in a place where I was down the street from Iowa State. So I was always able to go up there and play and, like I said, test myself against those guys that were on a Division I level.
Yeah.
So once I left there, I went to Utah. I had a great year individually, but the team struggled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So after that season, coach got fired, and yeah, it was just one of those situations where I just wanted to be closer to family, and my brother just happened to be going to the same junior college that I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
So Iowa State was like down the street, 30 minutes
Yeah.
down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go there. I have him there. My family can still drive here. And it was a good school at the time, and I always liked Iowa State. So I'm like, okay, I'll just come here and make some noise here.
Mm-hmm. After your last year at Iowa State, you decided to enter the NBA draft, but unfortunately you went undrafted. What was going through your mind at that time? Did you consider playing in Europe? What was going on?
No, I didn't even really know anything about Europe coming out of college. The dream was to make it to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So my agent first mentioned Europe, like I said, after the draft. We didn't even talk about Europe
Yeah.
before then. So after everything fell through and I couldn't go to the NBA, at the same time, I'm like, okay, I want to continue playing basketball and I still need a job. I still need money to take care of my family. So it was something I'm like, I'm open for. I was open to go to Europe and, like I said, try to do it that way.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, you went to the draft, to the summer league, right?
Yeah,
That
I went to
summer.
summer league. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You went to the summer league as a second chance in order to get like a contract in the NBA.
Yes, summer league didn't work out very well. As people know, if you're when you're doing summer league, it has its ups and downs, and you have to be in the perfect situation
Mm-hmm.
for it to make it work. And if you're not in a perfect situation, then sometimes you can kind of fall behind, and it just doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading the comments here, and Mike Kulagin says, "Who's your best friend in Russia?"
Simon.
um, let's go. Let's go a few months later, because obviously, as you mentioned, you signed your first professional contract in Germany with Ulm. How did that feel when you left the States for the first time? I'm imagining, to follow your basketball dream in Europe.
I felt at home, to be honest. Germany was a good start place for me. It was very easy to live. It was very easy to communicate with people. And I was used to being away from home. So, to be honest, it just felt normal to me being away from
Mm-hmm.
home. Probably the toughest part about being in Europe that first year was learning how to drive a manual car.
Yeah, that's what Malcolm
Yeah,
Delaney told me.
that was probably the worst part about it. I got stopped at a red light and I could not pull off for at least 10 minutes.
Wow.
So I parked the car at the gym and I didn't touch the car again. I was riding with my teammate to practice and I just left my car at the gym for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Was
other
there
than
a
that,
thing? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, other than that, man, the city, the team, it was great. I had some great, like I said, older players for me that kind of talked to me, kept me positive when things weren't going well. Wait your turn, just keep working, keep working. So, like that first year in Europe was kind of good for me.
Mm-hmm. And basketball-wise, obviously, you had some success in Germany. You led the team to the Eurocup round of 16 and the 2014 German Cup finals. In the following season, you were named German League All-Star. You led the team to the BBL playoffs. So my question is, were you satisfied with yourself and your progress?
Yes, I think I was. Only thing you can ask for a player is to get better every year. And I thought that from my first year to my second year, I did that. I got better, I improved, I did more, and I was getting more opportunities at the time. At the same time, I was doing better and, like I said, getting myself better. And so I want to say you have to be satisfied if you're getting better from year to year. And that's all you can really ask for.
Mm-hmm. And then Hapoel came next in Israel.
Yeah.
During that year in 2015, 2016, you led the league in scoring. You were obviously a force defensively. How do you feel you improved during your time in Israel, especially offensively? Because that's when you made that huge jump, at least in Europe.
To be honest, in Germany, I don't think I had that opportunity.
Yeah.
And didn't have the ball in my hands that much to do something like that. It wasn't my team. I was just a good piece to the puzzle on that team. So, like I said, when I got the loan and Dan Shamir ended up getting there during I don't remember what part of the season, but our coach ended up getting fired and Dan Shamir came there and he put the ball in my hands and he trusted me and he just go play. And it was one of those things where I was playing so free with no worries, no anything, and I was just playing my game. And like I said, it worked out for me. It worked out a lot for me.
Do you feel you improved offensively?
Yeah, definitely. I was able to play with the ball a lot more, but I thought that I was always, like I said, capable of scoring the ball if I was given the opportunity to. But it's just scoring has never just been my forte. Like I said, I always wanted to defend and rebound. That was something that I can always be on the floor no matter what happens, even if I'm not scoring the ball. So it was one of those things where I was just playing with so much freedom. If you live anybody with that type of freedom, 30 minutes a game, you're going to put up some shots and you're going to make some. So I just think one of those things where I want to say freedom was the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, Darüşşafaka came next in Turkey. Coach Blatt chose to sign you there. You agreed. And what do you remember from your conversations you had with Coach Blatt prior to getting there?
Coach Blatt, you know what? They had just lost their four-man to the NBA. I don't even know his name. Where do you play? He played at Milan, the four-man.
I don't know.
Curly hair. What's his name? He played at Milan, then Olympiacos, and then
Jeff Brooks. No,
Milan, Olympiacos, and then he went to Locomotive.
No, I don't remember.
Latvian guy.
Latvian guy.
Lithuanian guy. Oh man, they're gonna kill me for this one. Kaminskis,
Frank Kaminsky.
No,
No, Frank Kaminsky was in the States. Man.
Okay, he went to New York. He played in New York.
Wait, let me check because it's killing me right now. When was that? During?
He played in Olympiacos and left Olympiacos this year and went to
Kuzminskas.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Darüşşafaka lost him to New York.
Yeah.
And so I was like a last minute thing. I didn't have a team at the time. So I was a last minute call. He called me up, said he'd call me back. I waited. So I was the last, like I said, last minute signing there. So I wasn't expecting anything. I just thought it was the opportunity to go out there and maybe something happens. And after talking to Vlad, he kind of reassured me, like I said, you're coming here to get minutes and play. You're coming here to help the team out. And once I had that conversation with him, it kind of turned into something more. And like I said, I became a good piece of the puzzle on that team.
Mm-hmm. How was playing in the EuroLeague different than playing for the other competitions you had played in?
Obviously, it's way tougher. Like I said, there's more talent on the floor at all times, and from the other team, the scouting wasn't that big of a deal. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
we really scouted. We really, like I said, paid attention to film, and like I said, just the competition level. Like I didn't see this type of want and desire to win at the
Mm-hmm.
other levels like that. Like I said, the EuroLeague was just a big step, and you knew what everybody was going for. You knew what the coaches, you knew what the players. So I think this intensity of this level in the EuroLeague championship was a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Given the fact that you led the Darussafaka to the EuroLeague playoffs that year, looking back at your run, how do you assess your time there?
It was good. To be honest, man, we had a very talented team. If you look at that roster that we had, I say if we would have all stayed another year,
Mm-hmm.
we could have really made some noise with that roster that we had. Scotty, Brad, James, Marcus Slaughter, me, Adrian Mormon. These are all guys that done well in the EuroLeague. So
Yeah.
I think, like I said, just being on that team with all those talented guys helped me grow a lot, and then it helped me, like I said, step my game up to match their level as well. So I think that whole situation helped me in my growth and taking the next step in
Mm-hmm.
basketball.
Was that the time you thought to yourself, I belong in a championship caliber team in Europe?
No. I was just playing basketball, man. I was just, like I said, trying to make a name for myself at the same time, trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
And it just all happened and fell in place. I had no idea that the next year I'll be playing for Cheska. That
Yeah.
never crossed my mind
That's why I
at
asked.
the time. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the summer of 2017, after your year at Darussafaka, you signed a 2-year deal with CSKA. Did you consider any other EuroLeague offers that you may had?
No.
No. So
I,
since you
I
went to CSKA.
since I went to Cheska, since I left Darussafaka, I haven't considered going anywhere else besides here.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even been approached by anyone else that I know of.
Wow.
So it was one of those things where I knew where I wanted to be, especially at Cheska. I knew I wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We talked about your past, and now let's talk about your future, because obviously you mentioned the NBA. You're obviously recovering currently from an ACL injury. You have a contract with CSKA until the end of 2022. Would you like to see yourself playing in the NBA one day?
Yes. Only if the situation was perfect. I don't want to just go to the NBA just to say I was in the NBA. I want to play. Obviously, I want to do some stuff here first. I want to win another EuroLeague title.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play against Corey Higgins one time. I want to play against Nando.
Yeah.
I want to play against the guys that left the team this year that I didn't get to play against this year.
Yeah.
It would have been fun. I'm a competitor, so I still want to compete against those guys. Obviously, competing in practice is totally different than the game, so I still want to, like I said, compete against those guys one time before I even make a decision like that.
Mm-hmm. So if something like that were to happen, playing time would be a huge role.
Yes, I want to be a contributor. I don't want to. To me, I don't want to leave a place where I'm a big part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
To go somewhere where I'm non-existent and
Yeah.
at the end of the bench, that wouldn't sit well with me at all.
Mm-hmm. Let's switch gears a little bit and get into the rapid fire questions, the final part of our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I've done this with all our guests that have been here. Best EuroLeague player right now.
Best EuroLeague player right now?
Yeah.
Do I put my teammates in this or no?
Yeah, you can put your teammates.
Okay, I'm just gonna put for this season, I'm gonna put Shane Larkin and Mike James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The toughest defender.
I'm gonna go with Corey Higgins.
Mm-hmm. The toughest player to guard. That's a good one for you, I think.
You know what, man? Out of all the players I've had trouble guarding, I'm still gonna say Nando. Uh, if anyone knows Nando, he's definitely an assassin. So
Mm-hmm.
in practice, it used to be a tough time guarding because you can't foul him at the same time. You can't give him space
Mm-hmm.
to operate. So I think I'm gonna say Nando.
That's why you want to go up against him so bad.
Yeah, I still want to see that up close.
Yeah.
And like I said, had the opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm. The toughest arena to play at in Europe.
I'm gonna say the Red Star Zalgiris.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Zalgiris first, maybe.
Okay. The favorite European city to visit other than Moscow.
Madrid.
Favorite EuroLeague player to watch.
I'm gonna go Shane and Mike again.
Mm-hmm. EuroLeague's best starting five.
We don't have to match positions, do we?
No.
You know what? I'm leaving my teammate out of this, so I'm gonna go
Okay.
Shane, Nando, Corey. I'm gonna go Randolph, Anthony Randolph,
Mm-hmm.
and Kyle Hines.
Mm-hmm. The most clutch EuroLeague player.
Mike.
The best trash talker you've played against.
Played against. I
Yeah.
haven't had really a guy that talk trash to me on the court. Mostly just in practice, and
I
I'm
think
gonna
I'm
go.
gonna erase that question. Everybody keeps saying that.
Yeah,
Only
I'm
Zach.
gonna say. If I'm gonna say someone in practice, I'm gonna say Nando and Chacho. Chacho's a big trash talker, man.
So nobody has ever trash talked you during a game.
Not that I can remember. Uh, no, I haven't had one person trash talk me in the game. No.
Mm-hmm. A what if scenario: would an elite EuroLeague team make the Eastern Conference playoffs?
You said would any of them?
Not any of them. Top four, an elite EuroLeague team.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if we put a bunch of different players together on one team, yeah, maybe. I
Okay.
think so. But
Mm-hmm.
not just one team off the top of my head. No.
Okay, so you're getting me the assist for the next one. Thumbs up or thumbs down on EuroLeague having an All-Star game?
I like it. I like it. Thumbs
Mm-hmm.
up. I give you a thumbs up for that one.
And for that to happen, would you like to see like a Team Europe versus Team World setup?
I think that'll be the best setup to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
what I
Yeah.
think too. Another what if scenario: thumbs up or thumbs down on getting rid of the EuroLeague Final Four and following NBA's playoff format. Like
Does that mean a longer season?
yeah, the finals would have to be
Uh,
like best of five.
is that a longer season though?
Yeah, it is.
Uh, if it was to end the same time during the season, then I say okay, yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
Mm-hmm. The favorite moment of your career? Last year.
Yeah, of course. No question about it.
If there is any NBA player your game is similar to, who would it be?
I don't know. I don't know.
Next one, what type of music do you listen to before a game?
I like the old school R&B, so all the old guys, Temptations, Luther,
Mhm.
yeah, anything old for a game.
Your favorite player growing up?
Tracy McGrady.
And then LeBron or MJ?
And they're the best players in their era. So I'm gonna
If
say
you had to pick one,
MJ.
MJ. Have you watched the Last Dance documentary?
Yeah, I have, man. It's been pretty good to be able to see this guy and what he's done. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, just get a close picture of stuff that I didn't get to see when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. For the question I asked you about Euroleague getting rid of the Final Four format, your coach, Coach Itoudis, has mentioned that many times, and he said that it should be like the NBA.
Yeah, he's a big fan of it. He wants it to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other coaches want it to happen, but I'm pretty sure if he stays persistent, I think sooner or later he's going to get it done.
Yeah. Well, Will, that was it. Thank you so much for being on and joining us. I really appreciate it. If you don't have anything else to add, thank you and stay safe.
All right, man. You too, man.